I'd like to just give a summary of God's definition of forgiveness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So how could we summarize God's definition of forgiveness?
Well, basically, what we're doing here is just revisiting, isn't it, some of the things we previously said about forgiveness. So basically, forgiveness to the conditions have to exist.
Yeah.
Firstly, for
so someone has to sin and wish to harm me.
Not necessarily wish to harm me, but they have harmed me.
Yeah. Yep. Wish they sin, so they disobey God's laws in some way.
Yes.
And they harm me through that process.
Whether they were aware or not is measurable in quantity.
Yep.
But the actual harm has occurred, the sin has occurred, the actual harm has occurred. That has to have happened first.
Yep.
So that the conditions now exist.
Yep.
Under which I need to forgive.
Yep.
So God's definition of forgiveness is, firstly, the conditions have to exist.
Yes, for me to have something to forgive.
For me to have something to forgive.
Yes.
Secondly, I need to go through a process.
Which we'll talk a lot about the process.
Which is later.
Yeah.
But I need to go through a process which results in my no longer emotionally remembering the harm that was done to me.
Yeah.
And once I've completed that process, I will no longer remember that any harm was done to me, even though I will remember the event.
Yeah.
But emotionally, I will not remember the harm. I've completely forgotten the harm. Mm-hmm. You can see that means that the person who harmed me, I'd probably feel okay towards as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I don't any longer remember the harm.
Yeah.
So I feel okay towards him.
I would, again, as we mentioned in the previous section, I would be very, very aware and fully knowledgeable about the harm that they did to me.
Yes.
And about the conditions within them that
cause
their harm.
Yep.
So I'd be fully informed, but there's no emotional charge towards that person.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Awesome.
So I've emotionally forgotten, basically, what the person has done.
Yeah.
I've emotionally forgotten it.
Yeah.
Not through denial, not through Alzheimer's, not through some other intellectual or emotional condition.
Yeah.
But I have truly gone through the experience of releasing those emotions to the point where I've emotionally forgotten. Now, of course, when I'm at one with God, because there is no emotional resonance in me, that process is instant. I forgive as God forgives when I'm at one with God.
Yes.
And the way God forgives is there's no emotional resonance inside of God for there to be any harm that God feels about the thing. And so he instantly forgives. It doesn't mean that I feel the benefit of that forgiveness, because I have to go through repentance issues to do that. But
Yeah. And we'll get on to all of that. But this was just a very brief summary.
Yes.
So we established clearly sin, harm against me that I have released the memory of. It's all gone from me. God says that's forgiveness.
Yeah. Isn't it wonderful?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's an amazing place to be, of course, because it means so much for our lives and so much for our welfare and so much for our physical welfare and our body, and like there are so many benefits to it, but most of which people on earth have no idea about, because they just think that forgiveness is a sort of an imaginary state of a religious person.
Yeah.
But the reality is quite different.
Yes. Yeah.